Hello, beautiful, beautiful black people. Hope that all is well in your world. And this day, this beautiful day, this beautiful day, this beautiful day becomes a very, very successful day for you and all of your wonderful, wonderful, wonderful loved ones, my beautiful black brothers and sisters. There is a game played by high school footballers, college footballers, and maybe even in the NFL. It is a very violent game, and it is called Bull, B-U-L-L, in the ring, where one player is placed in a circle, in the middle of the circle, and the other players are surrounding him. And at any time, the player in the circle may get hit very violently from any direction in an effort to force him out of the circle. Some dumb, white, racist coaches say that the game teaches alertness and it teaches the players how to accept a hit, a violent hit. What it actually does over time is cause severe brain damage, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. There's a movement all across America to ban that type of violence within high school sports, especially football. Just like Bull in the ring, black folks right here on this plantation called America can, all of the traumatic experiences, discrimination, profiling, stop and frisk, rejections, etc., etc. All of these negative, traumatic experiences of black folks can lead to long-term brain damage. The toll that racism plays in mental health has not yet fully been quantified. But some black psychologists and psychiatrists have concluded that the number one type of mental illness on this plantation called America is racism. And they have also concluded that racism is the basis of all other mental illnesses. But ongoing research shows that racial discrimination is a significant contributor to anxiety, to depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, or I like to call it post-traumatic slave disorder. And while many people attribute many of these disorders to brain chemistry, I believe that poverty or some other social factors simply existing on this plantation called America as a black person in a nation where every weapon formed against you seemed to prosper, in a nation on a plantation called America where every weapon formed against you is prospering very, very well. Prospering enough to leave mental scars on black folks. people that look like me for life. About 1 in every 4 Black Americans will experience an anxiety disorder at some point in their lives. There have been many black professionals. For example, Dr. Jessica Graham is one. Dr. Lindsay M. West is another. These are all black experts that have drawn these conclusions. There were 4 black female mental health researchers who called the condition radical battle fatigue. It was like being in a war. It is like being in a war every day of our lives. We are being attacked psychologically every day, my beautiful black intelligent brothers and sisters. Social anxiety disorder is the most common anxiety disorder, with a lifetime prevalence of 10.8% among black folks, people that look like me, followed by generalized anxiety disorder, 5.1%, panic disorder, 3.1%, and obsessive compulsive disorder. And many black folks suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder. The acronym is OCD, my beautiful black intelligent brothers and sisters. Anxiety is most persistent. The symptoms last much longer in black folks as compared to the general population. However, black Americans seek mental health treatment considerably less often or drop out of mental health treatment before the recommended dose of therapy more often compared to the general population. Therapy is a good thing, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Behavior therapy, mental health therapy is very therapeutic, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. While the negative impact of racism on mental health is pervasive and far-reaching, these studies suggest a link. There's a link between racism and symptoms associated with anxiety. There are 3 specific ways we think experiences of racism negatively impact stress and anxiety for black folks, people that look like me. First, there is a perception of lack of control. Black folks have to deal with that every day. They never know when or where the racism is coming from, when it will happen. And all of this is internalized by black folks every day. And that internalization contributes to the stress and the anxiety, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Black folks also try to avoid, it's called the avoidance of valued actions. It is easy to point to the overt forms of racism and draw a direct line to mental health issues. But for a minority, for black folks, during Minority Mental Health Month, some folks try to explain. Some folks, black folks, was interviewed and they tried to explain how their experiences with the subtleties, the subtle system of systemic racism affected their mental health. More often, frequently, the white-controlled mass media will focus on black men. But black women and black children are victims also. The researchers also concluded that there is a prevalent phenomenon, and it is called internalized racism. Although we sometimes equate this term with self-hate, the need for white acceptance. Look at Candy Owens, for example. She's pleading every day, covertly, for white acceptance. This internalized racism is a product of the original recipe of racism. Sometimes it is called personally mediated racism. And most frequently, it manifests itself as self-doubt, eroding self-esteem, and no self-worth. It generates helplessness and hopelessness in too many black folks, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. This internalized racism / self-hate is a large contributor of this anxiety that black folks have to deal with, this post-traumatic slave syndrome, this post-traumatic slave disorder that have affected too many black folks, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. It is like being in a war every day of our lives if you are black and living on this plantation called America. But I am an optimist. I believe that all that each one of us black folks need is found inside of each one of us. Therefore, decades ago, many decades ago, I began to look internal for the answers. And finally, I arrived at a place where I found myself inside of myself. I began to know myself. And at that point, I realized that my life, any life of a black person, cannot be complete until they know themselves. Knowing yourself will set you free. It will help eliminate the stresses and the anxiety and put you on a better path rather than on the path of post-traumatic slave disorder or post-traumatic stress disorder. And once you know yourself, you will begin to realize what your passions are. And your passions will take you to your purpose, and your purpose will put you on a path towards your destiny, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. That's what I have on this one. Please go to LaTrashaway.libsyn.com.